I spent all night trying to track down the mysterious Lucy to no avail. My excuse being in the diner was that a wake-up call of 8 a.m. was going to require a strong, caffeinated elixir, with a splash of dog's hair to replenish a depleted health bar. In truth, I didn't know where else to begin.
Hey, Joe. I like that Byte-Off video.
Lenny, your real job is as a busboy?
I do this for side change.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Lenny, but that video is a counterfeit fraud.
That's an awful lot of effort to put into something. Who would benefit from that?
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that just want to see what me and Austin built burn to the ground.
Burn to the ground?
Yeah, I mean, we'd have our forums dive-bombed with inappropriate content or people posting tirades on social media. I've even received more death threats than you'd imagine. It's ridiculous.
Because of a tool that helps people create a video game.
I know. I don't really get it either, but I guess, people are really passionate about this thing, and sometimes the closer you get to passion, the closer you proportionally get to malice.
Where are we gonna find our suspect?
We?
I do a little detectivery on the weekends.
Detectivery on the weekends. Of course you do, Lenny. Here's the problem. If we were to knock on the doors randomly of everyone who has a problem with NESmaker, we'd run out of doors long before we hit the end of this proverbial stage. The bigger problem is we don't have any physical evidence, right? We've got the video. That's all we've got. This is all digital. There's no doors to knock on, just broken windows and firewalls.
Well, we know one thing.
What's that?
If this video is a fraud, then that's not you in the video.
Yeah.
Meaning our suspect, is proficient in AI and deepfake technology.
Croc.
No, it's not a croc.
This is good. C-R-O-K. It's a generative AI chatbot that one of our users built to help him write assembly code
Does
on...
he have a motive?
He was disqualified from one of the previous Byte-Offs for using AI to create assets.
Where do we find this guy?
Last I knew, he was working out of the basement of the university. It's a starting point. At least it's a door to knock on.
I'll go clock out.
I'll call us a car.
I wasn't too proud to say that Lenny had out-sleuthed me. Was it the early morning, the lingering headache, or was the world of NES development a world I subconsciously wasn't keen on diving back into? Whatever the case, I was just glad to have a starting point.
I do the ride-sharing thing to make ends meet.
We headed down to the basement of the university to confront the professor with what we knew. My instincts told me Professor Hector wasn't capable of these malicious deeds. But could I really trust instincts that were once so excited about the Power Glove?
Mr. Granato, what does Professor Hector owe the pleasure?
We'll cut right to the chase, Professor. Last night, I received a damning video with your digital fingerprints all over it. Are you responsible for Byte-Off 5?
Professor Hector also received this video. Admirable. If for an amateur, he is no amateur.
It's just jumbled double talk that doesn't even stack up. Do you mean the creator of this video was an amateur, or that he was not an amateur?
He's referring to himself in the third person. I think he's saying that the video creator was an amateur, but he, the professor, is not.
My friend here have that right, Professor? You speaking about yourself in third person these days?
Nearly correct.
Oh, I do not have the patience to puzzle this out. Straight answers, Teach, or I'm gonna tip off the Daily that you've been using your grant funds to manipulate the video game market.
What's this now?
Yeah, I told you about his AI, Croc. Yeah, well, it started as a university initiative to write assembly code based on simple verbal prompts. Except, that's not exactly how it works, and when he got frustrated by failing to integrate it in a NESmaker, the noble professor here secretly started using it instead as an automated review bomber to tank his game's competition. How do you think the Board of Regents will feel about this little enterprise?
They would not like it.
Yeah, they would not like it, that's right. So, you want to try that again? What do you know about a car bomb, Professor?
A car bomb is a bomb hidden in a vehicle that's intended to explode. Car bombs are often used as weapons of terrorism or guerrilla warfare.
Quit dodging. Are you involved in stealing this year's Byte-Off?
Professor Hector was not involved in stealing this year's Byte-Off competition.
Joe, I don't think you're talking to the professor anymore.
What do you mean?
I think you're talking to his AI. Croc. He doesn't say a single thing that hasn't been generated by his algorithm.
Okay, so Croc, do you know anything about the Byte-Off?
Yes.
Tell me what you know!
A NESmaker Byte-Off is a yearly game development competition where users of NESmaker software create playable demos for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Professor Hector was disqualified from a past Byte-Off.
The trick is to be very specific in your questioning. An AI of this type won't lie, but can only respond in a logical way to your verbal prompts. You need to be literal. You can't use idioms, it doesn't understand sarcasm, and threats will be useless.
You sure know a lot about AI.
I dabble in a lot of AI freelance work from time to time.
Okay, fine. Croc, was deepfake technology used to create the Joe and Austin avatars in the Byte-Off 5 video?
Yes.
Okay, was Croc used to help generate those facsimiles?
Yes.
Ah, was Professor Hector involved in creating that video?
Professor Hector was not involved in creating the video.
How do I know that's not a meticulous pre-programmed lie?
Because had Professor Hector been involved, it would have been a much more convincing output.
Croc, do you know the name of the person responsible for the deepfakes?
The term deepfake originated with Reddit username Deepfakes around 2017.
Damn AI. Croc, do you know the name of the person who created the deepfakes of myself and Austin McKinley for the Byte-Off 5 video?
No.
Do you, in your infinite logic, have any hypothesis how we can find that person?
Yes.
How?
You can go to the award show in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on April 4th.
Okay, this is useless. It was a good thought, though. Where's Austin's big brain when you need it?
I have the location of Austin McKinley's brain.
You know where to find Austin McKinley? Where?
It's here in Providence, Rhode Island.
No. I don't believe that for a second. What address?
I do not have the exact address. However, with the information provided, I can provide you a ride.
All right, Professor. Unless you want me to spill what I know about how you've been using this AI, let's get rolling.
No, Professor Hector will remain at the university. I will drive you.
Leave it to an AI. Pull up in an autonomous car.
This whole thing feels like a setup. I said we walk away before we find ourselves in a fiery inferno.
My companion implored me not to let my fear of AI get the better of me. How could the professor know? How could Grok know the location of Austin McKinley?
Those are monitoring all emergency services and police channels.
I changed my mind. Let's see how this plays out.
Would you look at the time? I gotta get to my other job.
All right, Croc. Take me to Austin McKinley.
Croc, what are you doing?
In true form, it is time to observe a requisite car chase.
Requisite car chase? Who's chasing who?
The algorithm has determined that too much time was spent talking and we needed a little action.
This is so stupid.
What am I going to find behind that door?
One raving woman, one angry police officer, and one dead body.
Who does the damn body belong to?
According to Rhode Island law, one person cannot be owned by another person, even in the event of death.
What is the name of the deceased person behind that door?
The name of the deceased person behind that door is Austin McKinley.
As a private investigator, I knew there were some doors better left unopened.
I've been very satisfied with the progress I've been seeing on your Byte-Off games. Submissions are now officially open. You have 1 week to